Hello and welcome to a building for beginners. We haven't seen one of these in a while, but I thought we'd crack on and I'd show you something a bit more interesting than a simple little cow shed or a field or a nice little house with a storage system. I thought I'd show you something a bit more fancy than that this time. We're going to build one of my favourite houses, and I don't suppose it's patented, but it's definitely one of my favourite houses, and I've been building it in the All Bets Are Off series. But I'm going to show you how to do it. And basically, we want to start off, if we're going to do it simple, with an 11 times whatever size square of cobblestone. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay? So we have, here is an odd amount of blocks, and the reason I do this is because it means that the roof that you do will be square, and it'll be with a point bit, which I personally prefer, but it can be done with two in the middle. It can be an even shape, but you get obviously a different roof. But I personally prefer this type of roof. So basically we're just doing the floor at the moment. If you get out of the way, sheep. You're not helping me here. I'm trying to film. Yeah. So right here what we have is a few simple designs that you can use. It's just throwing things together, different shapes, different colours. I've kept the borders the same colour for display purposes really, but you can do it any type of wood, anything. And yeah, this is just the simple design we're going to be using to build the wall. Going up the corners 5 high with these blocks. This is just the oak wood, and it's simple to find, it's simple to grow, and you can get quite a lot of it if you put it in a big block. So we're just going to put it in the corner like this, and this build really does depend on which way you place the blocks, because if you're going up you really should keep the trunk a hole, so you don't, it's not, you know, like it's not like that, okay? It really should be like that. Well, in my opinion at least. I mean, you can always do it like, and let's try this. You could always do it like that. That looks quite nice. But personally, I prefer straight up. Looks not nicer. This gets done for every single corner, and when I've finished, you'll see what happens. Okay, now that I've done every single corner, what we're going to do is basically place in blocks the same thing but on the sides. So we're going to have a space like that, and it's going to be linked like that, you see? So it leaves a gap like that in the middle. And when we've got a space like this, what I tend to do is get some nice stone like this and place it in so you get a big portal hole, and this basically just acts as a window. You know, it's quite nice aesthetically, and it breaks up the view as well. Alright, now I'm just putting in some birch wood planks, and the reason I do this is because, again, it just breaks up the colours. You know, it's only a very subtle colour difference, but it really does help. Right, now that you can see we've done all the sides, we're going to start with an entrance, and it really depends on your preference of entrance. I mean, I quite like just going like this. You just get a few blocks out, and then you can go around the edge, because this is going to be flush with the wall, so you could just do that, and then behind we could get some more blocks. Just go up like this. It really doesn't matter, it's all up to you, whatever you think looks alright, basically. So I've just done this. We're going to link it all up so it's all nice and square. There we go. Nice and simple. And if you look from the other side, you'll see that it comes out a bit like this. And I personally quite like this, but you know, if anyone else would come along, actually I might replace these ones because it's a bit too square. There we go, perfect. Right, onto the stairs. Right, what I'm going to do now is just put these steps up, just regular stone steps, and we're going to get them all the way up to the roof, and as you can see, we now have nowhere to go. So what we're going to do is just build out with oak wood just along the top, and it does make sense why we do this, because we build an overhang. So this is going to be the edge block of the floor, not the wall. So yeah, we'll get on with this and I'll show you how it works. Also, basically, what we're going to do now is get some spruce wood, and we're going to make sure that they are going straight. Like, imagine just literally placing down tree trunks. That's what we're going to do. And we're going to get them going sideways along here. Like this. Can you see? So both ends are pointy. I'm going to bring them all the way back again. Come along. So it all brings it out one block, which really is important. And then we're going to build the structure for the second floor. So we're going to come up 5 blocks again. So we've got, how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let me bring it out, doing the same thing we did earlier, where we make sure that it's all one trunk and there's no gaps, or isn't facing in a different direction. Bring it up 5. Bring it up 5 again. Bring it all the way along. And this way. Can you see? Now we have all the 4. We have 4 trunks, and 4 trunks inwards like this. Right. So we're going to get on with the floor now, just so we have a floor level to work with. And I'm using half slabs, and I'll show you why in a moment. But basically, you could fit another roof, so you have a ceiling of a different block. And also it helps with the struts, which I'll show you as well. Right, when it comes to doing the edge around the stairs, what I tend to do is use a solid block instead. And can you see that there's an overhang just underneath? And this is important because it sort of signifies the edge. It's a barrier. It rounds it all off very nicely, and I very much like that. So now we're just going to build out these, and as you can see from earlier, it all will fit in quite nicely together. And I tend to destroy blocks. I go back and because I forget things, and I like to put other things in as well, you know, because it's all about personal preference. And I found that this was a very good way of doing stuff. And I'm going to lay out this place in a moment. Just put the roof on, or the ceiling in. Right, so now that we've lit it all up, I'm going to show you the stairs, and I prefer to mix it up a bit with the blocks, because I do say I don't like cobblestone, but I always find it's a very good support structure, and for that reason I quite like it. And can you see around the edge, we have this little bit here? Well, we're just going to fill this in so it's nice and flush. Okay, now I'm going to show you why we do the roof like this. And I'm only going to show you with one because of the size of the house and where the stairs are placed and all that. So we're just going to do it once. Basically, you can put this in here and it will overhang slightly out of the ceiling. It won't look like a solid block of wood, it'll just look like a half block. And it's the way you manipulate Minecraft, because you can only see half of that. It looks a lot less invasive on the view, really. But you know, we can do it across here and things like that. I'll show you the effect of joists in the ceiling. You see? If I was to do that, now it's flush with the stairs as well. But it doesn't really work because, you know, it's a solid block and it's going into stairs. But oh well, anywho, let's crack on with it, shall we? On the second floor here, what we have is the bay window sort of things with the trap doors, and I've collaborated these together just to show you just a few little effects that you can do. The things we have, like a window box here with like a flower in it, a nice little flower, and this sort of makes it seem like it's, you know, one of the little hanging basket things, sort of things, you know. Here we have just a little outcrop with just using steps. You can use any type of step, it doesn't really matter. But here we have the balcony, and you can do it's anything, you know, open your mind. We've simply got some wooden fence posts diagonally. They don't link together, but it's still quite nice sometimes. You can use stone. It looks quite nice with stone, and you can even just link it together like that, leave a gap. You can't fall through that, but it's a bit more jagged, that's the only thing. Okay, so what we're going to do now is basically we need to build the walls for the second floor. And to do this, it can be really quite tricky. We're going to want some of that. I like to space it evenly, so what I'd go along and do is I place blocks like this until I found the even bit, but this is obviously isn't even, so what we do is we come back and we place them until they're even. Then we go to the other sides and do it like that until we obviously get them all even. And then we do the ends, and these ones should be even because it's an odd number. So if you always want a space of 1, you really should always do everything in odd numbers. That'll be a lesson to you. Okay, so I've managed to get these sides all up. We can see that there is separations between the walls, which has already added some security. Now we're just going to go along, and inside the blocks between the wood, we're going to place oh bloody hell. We're going to place oak wood. On the top level, just underneath the roof, we're going to place birch wood. Oh god damn it. Right, as you can see, we've been left with 2 holes and a bunch of slits in the walls. And what we're going to do with these slits is something quite interesting. See, I once remember being on this multiplayer server, and I sort of went and looked at all the buildings that people just do. So I was having a look one day. Oh god damn it. And I noticed something that I really like the look of. As soon as I get all this glass in, I'll show you it. Right, now that we've got all the glass in, I'm going to find us a trap door. What this does is makes shutters, and I really like the look of that. I really like the look of shutters. You see? It just makes it stand out more, and it's not flat. It's so much nicer. So we're just going to go along, and we're going to place shutters all the way along with these windows. I don't place them on the outside because I suppose you could do it on the outside, but it would look like this. You know, it's your preference really. If you like the look of that, then go right ahead. But I think I'm going to keep it so there's nothing on the struts. Okay, so we've got all the window hatches on. We also need to do it on these ones as well. Okay, right, so we've got it on the downstairs ones as well. And so far, you can see that it doesn't really look like much. It looks like a piece of shit. So, what we're going to do is we're going to fill in these parts of the walls, build a couple of balconies, I think. So I'm going to take out these. I'm going to place in a couple of these blocks like this. Nice, nice, nice. Put a little border around it so it's not so bland. And also this side. Do. There we go. Then what I'm going to do is basically fill in the walls. So I'm going to go like that. Like that. Like that. And then just go pop and pop. You know what? Screw it. I might do another one this side as well. Like that. What I've done here is simply do an archway, and you don't have to obey the laws of this box at all. You can do whatever you want. It's a shape to break. So what I've done is make an archway that goes through the square, and that can go up into the roof section on the fronts and the backs and anything. You can do whatever you want with it. There we go. Right, now we're going to work on the roof. Over here I have color coded how you do the roof, and basically it goes red, amber, green, red, amber, green. Okay, and I'll let you take a moment to have a look at that. On the other side here I have done it in stone, and it just goes to prove that you can do the roof with whatever materials you want to do. You know, it looks nice either way. Now with the roof, I find that if you go along, literally the first set of struts, this is going from front to back right now, and you hang it over just slightly on the front. Okay, and then on the other side of the strut as well, so you want to do it on the top and the side of the outside, go all the way along and hang it out. Right, from the inside, basically you want to build this shape up, and we're going to do that. So we got stairs on the outside, a stair upside down on the inside, and then a stair on the outside, a stair upside down on the inside. But then you want to place a solid block on top, because what this will do is raise it up one level, meaning that it does that. And because it's display purposes, I won't do the inside of the roof, because you can go all the way along like this, and it's up to you if you want to do it like that. I personally prefer it like that. It looks a lot more diagonal, really, but it's up to you. Right, from this block here, we're going to do exactly the same thing. It's just the same pattern over and over again. We're placing on top of the solid block, we're placing a step, and then we're going to bring it out one like this, with a step on the inside on both ends, and then we're going to place another block. You will be able to see the pattern in a moment. I'll just do this line up here. God damn it. Can you see? It works really well. So we're just going to go in again, block on the inside, and then a block on top. Right, now that we've got halfway, sort of have to gauge it, we're going to start on the other side. Because we don't know when to stop, we're going to meet them up in the middle instead of just continuing up. Okay, so we got it up on both sides, and as you can see, this makes a very high roof. I always call this like the fantasy roof, because yeah, I always imagine, like, you know, elves and shit living in these sort of places. But right, okay, what we're going to do now is make the roof, and this is always my favourite part, because you get two halves that come together. And it's I'll show you why when I finish it. Can you see? It's just slightly. It's almost like it curves over, just slightly. Yeah, I know it's squares and stuff, but in the grand scheme of things, that's quite a jagged roof with a nice topped bit. Okay, so right, what we're going to do now is build the walls up to the roof. The reason we hang it out is basically so that we can do this wall flush with the outside of the roof, and you'll see the effect later. However, for now, what we're going to do is something very simple. Again, I don't really have a preference for this. I just sort of make a pattern, and if I like the pattern, I'll keep the pattern. But it's really up to you, really. So I'm going to do like this. I'm just going to put that in there. That's all very nice and nice. And then we're going to do 2 struts like this. And what I'm using now, I'm using spruce wood. I'm just making any random pattern, and I'm going to mimic it on the other side as well. Okay, so just putting the final pieces in. You can see we've got the glass, we've done the wall, and what I'm going to do now is simply just put some trapdoors in there, because I quite like trapdoors, just for the shutters, as you can see. I'm going to light it up so we can see it better. There we go. We're going to do that. We're going to do it on the front as well, and then we're almost complete. Over here we have a few designs for lighting in the place, and these are just glowstone with trapdoors on them. It makes them seem like proper street lights then. This one's the most simplest street light you can get. You don't have to worry about this. You can do whatever you want with this bit, but this will only come on. This is a redstone lamp. It will only come on in the night time because we have a daylight sensor on top, which is set to night time, and you can change it to daylight, or so it comes on in the day, or you can change it to night so it comes on in the night. Totally up to you. And here we have it. We've sort of just done the roof there. We have it all looking nice. We have balconies. We've got windows. We've got shutters. We've got the whole hog right here. The only thing we're missing is the door. So we'll put that on in a little bit. Just lighten it all up for you so you can see it all in its glory. Looks a lot nicer in the dark, I always think. Here we have a few designs for walls, and these just use anvils, but it's quite nice. Obviously, if you're in creative, then that's an acceptable thing, but if you're in survival, then that's going to use a hell of a lot of iron, so I wouldn't recommend it. This one is just simply a stone wall with stone steps on top. Down here I've done a few designs for what you can do on the walls, just to break up the straightness, because it's not brilliant when it's all straight. So what you could do with these is just have them as on the outside of the house, just to flavour it up a little bit. And I've done a few little designs that I quite like the look of right here. And I really think they bring out the shapes of houses, because one thing I really hate is a flat house. So have a look. Basically all it is you have cobblestone block, steps, and a half step. That's all it is to make those ones. These ones, you have cobblestone block with a step on top, and a step on front, and a step on upside down underneath that. These ones are simply just a cobblestone block, a step, and a half step in the middle. Over here, to buff out the outcrops from the second floor, I've done a few little designs that just sort of fade it in a little bit. They make it a bit more diagonal, and you can do it however you want. I've just done a few little designs. We have just a step, we have a half step, another step. You can connect it all together. You can make patterns, anything. You got your stone steps as well, and a cobblestone steps. This is just a half steps. I mean, you don't have to use steps, but I've said steps a hell of a lot. And here we go. There is the house. Very simple to make. So, there we are. I hope this was interesting, and I hope it helps you to build better, because I've seen a hell of a lot of builds out there, and they need to really go up to a decent standard. And this may not be the best out there, but it's a step in the right direction. It's opening your mind to the possibilities for shapes, And when you compare this to one of these, you really can see the difference. This is with love from Tom, and I hope you have a very good day, and I hope you've enjoyed the video.